I forgot to record. All right. Again, this is review number 1. This was handed out last week on Friday. Piece of paper. All right. What is the sample space for the sums of 2 rows of a 6-sided number cubes? Why is the 2 the smallest? Why is it not 1?
Because there's 2 dice.
There's 2 dice. 1 plus 1 is 2. 6 plus 6 is 12, and everything in between. Please stop. All right. Now we're making our Venn diagram. Singles and doubles. There's 14 team members all together, and you guys told me to do the overlap first. What is the overlap? 4. All right. How many play singles? 6. If 4, right? 6 minus 4 is. So 2 only do singles. 2 plus 4 is 6. All right, how many do doubles?
6, because 10 minus 4.
Because 10 minus 4 is 6. Do you guys agree?
I agree.
All right, I need you guys. 2 plus 4 plus 6 equals what?
12.
So 12 people play tennis. How many are team managers?
2.
To make the total of 14. Does that make sense? All right. How many are managers? 2. Questions? All right. Remember, we're turning this in. What is the name for 2 events, C and D, where the probability of event C happening does not affect the probability of event D happening? Independent. Good job. The rest of you guys need to stop and listen. The test is this week on block day. Hurry up. We have block Thursday and Friday. For us, it's Thursday. Shh.
There's no block Wednesday?
There's no block Wednesday. No late start this week either. Okay, stop the talking. Give an example of 2 events that describe number 4 above. All right. Who can give me an example of 2 events that are independent? We've talked about this in class. Yes.
Getting a queen after taking a jack and a jet with replacements.
Good job. Did you hear the key word there? She said with replacement. Before I get yours, some said they couldn't hear you. Can you repeat it one more time a little louder?
Getting a queen after getting a jack and a deck with replacement cards.
Good. So she picked one card out, replaced it before getting the other. Does it matter what card she took out first? No, because she did what with it? Replaced it. If she did not replace it, would it still be independent? It would be dependent because she did not replace it in a smaller deck of cards. Mason? Rolling dice. If you roll the dice twice, does the first roll affect the second roll? No. What else does that work on? Flipping a coin. All right. What about a bag of marbles? As long as you do what after you take one out? Replace. All right. So any one of those examples you can write down there for number 5. All right. Next piece. A bag contains 50 marbles. There are 20 red, 8 blue, 10. I told you guys, I gave them to you verbally and I told you guys to pick one. 10 are white, and how many are green? 12. All right. Probability, this was on the quiz, by the way, for those of you that are taking it after school. The probability, 1 is red. How many red marbles do I have? 20 out of 50. How do I know to make it a fraction? Because it's asking for the probability. 20 out of 50 reduces to 2 over 5. What's the probability? It is green. 12 over 50. You can divide top and bottom by 2. You get 6 over 25. Okay, blue or white. What does the word or mean we learned last week? You add and subtract the overlap. Is there overlap when you're dealing with the bag of marbles? No.
If you put in a decimal, that's fine, right?
Yes, thank you for asking. Decimals are fine as well. I left mine as fractions, but if you change yours to decimals, that is fine. All right, I'm going to continue. So how many blues do I have? And how many whites do I have? So altogether, how many do I have? 18 over 50, which reduces to? Yes. That's fine. If you plugged it in your calculator and reduced for you, as long as you have this step right here, and then that one, that's fine. All right, not red. How many are red? Let's look at that first.
20.
So what would I do? 20 take away from
50.
50. What's 50 take away 20?
30.
So what's my probability?
30 over 50.
30 over 50, which reduces to 3 over 5. So no subtract the overlap on those because there is no overlap. Okay, put phones away. We are focused. Any questions on 1 through 9? Gentlemen, no questions? All right, number 10. A spinner has 10. Oh, did I tell you guys to cross out 18? No. Sorry.
I just did 18 right now.
No, you didn't.
What was the answer?
Yeah, but what?
I don't have it in front of me.
Would it be 700?
Someone else said they got that, and I don't know. I'd have to work it out. If you divide it by 3, I do not.
That's about 700.
Oh, yeah, because 1/3. All right. Stop the talking. All right. A spinner has 10 equal sections numbered 1 through 10. All right. Probability, a number greater than 7. Do we include the 7? No. No. So what numbers are bigger than 7?
8, 9, 10.
So how many is that?
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. Can I reduce that? No. Decimal it if you want. 0.3. And it's your choice. All right. Probability is an even number. How many even numbers do I have?
5.
5. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. That's 5 of them. 5 out of, which is 1/2 or 50% if you're using percentages, or decimals, 0.5. A number less than 10. What numbers here are less than 10?
9.
1 through 9?
1 through 9.
So that's what? 9 out of 10. Does that reduce? All right. Probability it's a number greater than 0.
9.
Is that all of them? Or all these numbers greater than 0? 10 out of 10, which equals 1. With that being said, I'm going to give you a test question. Are you ready? No? You don't want it?
Yes, we do.
Okay. It will ask you on the test, what two numbers do probabilities range from? Not thinking of percents, but thinking like 3/10, 9/10, 1/2. What's the smallest number it could be?
0.
It can never be negative. The smallest number could be?
0.
What does that mean? It's likely to happen or not at all?
Not all.
Okay. And what's the biggest number it could be?
1.
1. Okay. So probabilities range between what two numbers? 0 and
1.
1. Now it's going to talk about most likely and less likely. When is it most likely? Closer to 1 or closer to 0?
Closer to 1. 0.
Closer to 1 would be most likely. Closer to 0 would be less likely. So like this one here, what's more likely to happen? The 9/10 or the 3/10?
9/10.
Because that's closer to 1. Do you see that? Yeah. It's more likely to get a number less than 10 than it is to get a number greater than 7. Why is that? There are more numbers that are less than 10. Does that make sense? All right, so what two numbers do probabilities range from?
0 to 1.
0 to 1. And which one's more likely?
1.
Less likely?
0.
0. All right. 12. Now, before I do 12 through 24, I'm going to do a quick review. Now, it is up to you if you want to write these down. I had some kids that just paid attention. I had some kids that wrote them down. You do have these in your notes. They're lesson 13.2. And no, I lied. It's not. It's lesson 13.4. I'm just going to rewrite these formulas just as a refresher. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. So, mutually exclusive. What does mutually exclusive mean? Two events that can or cannot happen together at the same time. Cannot. All right. Probability of A and B equals what? 0. The two events cannot happen at the same time. It's 0. Please stop and pay attention, guys. All right. Probability of A or B. What does or mean? Plus. P of A plus P of B, and typically we minus the overlap. Why do I not have to worry about it on this one?
There is none.
There's no overlap because they are mutually exclusive. Keith and Mateo, both of you guys, put that away. All right. Now, next one is independent events. And I want you guys to recognize that it's not that they're mutually exclusive or independent. It doesn't work that way. It's mutually exclusive or not mutually exclusive, separate from independent or not independent. Got it?
Got it.
All right. Okay. Probability of A and B, and it is not 0. Why is it not 0? Because it's only 0 when they're what?
Mutually exclusive.
And we did not say it was mutually exclusive here. What does and mean? Multiply. Multiplication. P of A times P of B. I'm going to pause here and remind, put that away, please. And remind that you do need these for the test. So I had kids ask that, do we need to memorize these? Yes. Yes, you do. All right. Probability. Oh, I'm going to pause here. All of these you need for the test, but this one right here we're going to come back to later today. So how can we show something is independent? If this formula works, the events are independent. If this formula does not work, what do we say? They are not independent. All right. Probability of A or B. Is it very similar to this as far as addition goes? P of A? Right, except there's minus the overlap, the P of A and B. All right. Do you need to know these formulas?
Yes, for the
Yes,
test.
for the test. So make sure you study. And those of you doing the quiz that you missed, you need these formulas for that as well.
We got to memorize?
I let the kids use their notes on Friday for the quiz. All right, questions on this? All right, let's get back then to the notes or to the homework. Looking at numbers 19 through 21. It says that they are so top section or bottom section of formulas? Top section. So mutually exclusive. First question, Q and R. What's the answer without any work? 0. Why is it 0? Because they are?
Mutually exclusive.
And means the overlap. They never overlap.
Never, ever.
Q or R. What's the formula? P
it is
of
P of A or P.
plus Q of R.
Yeah, plus.
It's not Q of R. P of
P of-
R. Okay, P of Q plus P of R. Yes or no?
Yes.
What's the probability of Q? 0.58 plus probability of R.
129.
And then you add those two together. 0.87. All right, next piece. Probability of not Q or R. What do we do with the not? We take it away from? 1. 1 minus the probability that it actually happens. What's nice about this, have we already done the Q or R piece?
Yeah.
What number?
0.87.
Right there. Number 20. 1 minus 0.87. So 0.13, and you're done with this section. Questions? Those of you taking the quiz, this type of problem would be on there. Will be on there. Everyone's taking the test. At the end of the week, it'll be on there as well. Questions? All right. Back page. What does numbers 20 through to 24 state? They are what?
Independent.
Okay, top section or bottom section? All right. Now, it was typed out of order, so I'm going to regroup them. Technically, this one should have been first, so I'm going to do it first. Okay. D and E. What do we do? And why do we multiply, and why is it not 0?
Because it's independent events.
It's independent, not mutually exclusive. Okay. P of D times P of E. What's P of D?
0.75.
Times what's P of E?
0.3.
All right, so you plug that in your calculator. What do you get? 0.225. All right. Next one we're going to do is 22. What is 22 asking?
Not D or E.
Oh, you're a step ahead of me.
Oh, 20. Oh, my bad.
D or E. So what's the formula? P of D times or plus P of E. And because it's not mutually exclusive, we minus the P of the overlap. P of D and E. All right, what's P of D?
0.75.
Plus 0.3 minus, did we already do the D and E part?
Yeah.
What is it?
0.223.
225 or 0.23? Guys, because they're not mutually exclusive. It's right here. We're doing this piece right here. Guys, on the test, if you just give me an answer and no work, would I accept it?
Yeah.
You should know by now that I would not accept it. No. And I do check your work, and you guys should know that by now. Whether you show both of these is up to you, but I need these numbers for sure. Anybody plug it in already? 0.8. All right. And last one in this section, not D or E, what do? We subtract from 1 minus the probability of it actually happening. Did we already do that? What number was it? The 0.825? All right, so lucky for us, we've already done all that work on number 22. 0.175. Questions? All right. Yes.
What's the answer to 23?
23 is 0.175. All right, questions on this before we move on to the bottom section, which is also on the quiz. Okay. Before we do these, I'm going to give you the formulas because it's different for a chart. Probability of A and B. As tempting as it is to multiply, do we multiply with the chart?
Nope.
With the table, we do not. What does the and mean? Starts with an O.
Overlap.
Overlap. Probability of A or, not A, probability of A or B. Multiplication or addition or overlap. What is or? Addition. P of A plus P of B, and what do we subtract?
Overlap.
If the overlap exists. There's not always overlap, but if it exists, we subtract the overlap. You do need to know this for the charts. Everybody's filling this in. You guys remember we are turning this in at just like 5 minutes. Chris, you're doing it with us, right? You will get it back.
For number 29, how it says and,
Uh-huh.
would that be 0 or
Okay, I'm going to get there. All right. Dog and fifth grader. What is as tempting as it is to multiply, we do not. What does and mean?
Overlap.
Okay, here are the dogs. Here are the fifth graders. Where's the overlap?
140.
So it's 140 over 1,000. 14 over 100, you can divide by 2. 7 over 50. All right. Bird or fourth grader. The word or there means we're going to do what? Add and then subtract the overlap. Good job. So probability, the person likes a bird, plus the probability they are the fourth grader, minus the overlap if it exists. What's the probability the person likes a bird? Plus what's the probability the person is a fourth grader?
Is there overlap? What is it? And why do we subtract it? Because we added it twice. We added it with the birds, and then we added it again when we counted the fourth grader, so we subtract. Add and subtract, what do you get? 480 over 1,000. 48 over 100 you can divide by 4. 12 over... Are any of you guys using your calculator to reduce your fractions?
Yeah.
Yes, and it is a nifty tool to use if you have it. All right. Fourth or fifth grader. Is this similar to number 26 as far as the formula goes?
Yeah.
Fourth grader plus the probability is a fifth grader minus the overlap if it exists.
There's no overlap.
There is no overlap. Okay, let's check that. Heads up off the desk. All right, so probability the person is a fourth grader. How many fourth graders do I have?
300.
300 over 1,000. Plus, how many fifth graders do we have? How many fifth graders?
325 over 1,000.
325 over 1,000. Minus, is there an overlap?
No.
No. So you do 300 plus 325. Take away 0 is what?
625 over 1,000.
Over 1,000. Divide by 25 at the very least. 5 over
8.
8. All right. Probability, it's a cat or a dog. Is this similar to the last one as far as the formula goes?
Yes.
It's still or. Cat plus the probability is a dog minus the overlap if the overlap exists. All right, what's the probability the person likes a cat? 330 over 1,000. Plus, what's the probability the person likes a dog? Is there any overlap? Minus 0. 330 plus 420. 750 over 750 over 1,000, which is what? 3/4? Okay. Guys, please stop. Probability. It's a fifth grader and a sixth grader. What's the difference? Guys, how did the word change here between 27 and 29?
And an or.
And an or. Or you add and subtract the overlap. And is the overlap. Please listen. And is there any overlap between fifth and sixth graders?
No.
What are those two events called?
Mutually.
Awesome. Mutually exclusive. All right. Shh. Guys, a review here. And again, those of you staying after school, and there's a few of you, these are on there. Probability, the person likes a cat. What does this line mean? Given. Good job. Given they are a sixth grader. So this is your new population, the sixth graders. So ignore everything else, and you're only looking at these sixth graders. How many sixth graders do I have?
375.
Of those 375 sixth graders, how many of them like
125.
cats? 125. Do you see how that works? This is your new data, the sixth graders. You reduce, and what do you get? Okay. Probability they are a sixth grader given they like a cat. Okay. How many people like cats? And of those, how many of them are sixth graders? 330. That's these right here. And 125 are sixth graders. You reduce. 25 over. All right. Now, this one with the given and the nots, kids kind of struggle with. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Not a cat means that's the piece you're going to cover. I'm actually covering everything. So this is it. I'm not dealing with the total on the right side nor the cats. What is my new population?
The total of birds and dogs.
The total of birds and dogs, which is what?
670.
670. Does everyone see how he got 670? Yes.
Wouldn't you subtract the 70 and the 100 from like the fourth grader line?
Well, I'm not there yet. Okay. So of the 670, how many of them are not fourth graders? So she's saying from this piece here, She's saying take away the fourth graders, take away the 170 from the 670. What's 670 take away 170?
500.
Okay. Did anybody add these four together instead?
I did.
And did you get the same number? Yeah. 110 plus 140 plus 70 plus 180 is 500. Or as Giselle said, 670 take away the fourth graders. Either way, 500 over 70 reduces to 50 over 67. Okay. Name at the top, grade at the top, folders are coming out. But listen before you turn your work in.